Welcome back to Dan United Reds. Tonight we are discussing the Ruben Amorim presser. Plenty to talk about. Players coming back, but first, welcome. And what a day it has been. We've got plenty to discuss about this press conference. Sorry I'm late. I've just come back from the Red Men TV, the cartel, where I've been basically bantered for Manchester United as always. But how is everyone? Hope you've all had a fantastic Friday. The weekend is here, and more importantly, football is back. And Manchester United is back. Now, are we happy they're back? Are we ready for another weekend of misery? I'm feeling confident. I've got to be honest. As much as I've had a really bad week and trying to understand just where this is going wrong for Ruben Amorim and these players, I give my head a wobble. And I said, you know what, Dan, we ain't doing this anymore. We're going to go for this and we're going to have fun with it. Now, obviously, the press release was today. Ruben Amorim was surprisingly in extremely high spirits, considering the week he's had. But then I suppose, look, he's not going to sit there all glum, is he? He's got to show a united front, and he's got to show that this is not getting to him. Now, a few things to come off the back of here, and I'll get into your comments in a second. A few things to come off the back of. The first thing is that it was reported in the BBC today that Manchester United have officially hit over £1 billion in debt. That is terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. 105 million gone onto that from the summer. We've just come back from this record revenue. And isn't it funny how Manchester United, I knew there was something there. I knew there was some problem here. Them releasing this news that we weren't so bad and it was going to be okay and everything's looking good for the future. They release it on Wednesday. Today we get told we're skint. But hey, we're not here to talk about the finances tonight. Let's talk about the squad. Ruben Amorim has officially confirmed that Mason Mount and Cunha are back and included in the Chelsea squad for the game. Diogo Dalot is still injured, and we've seen that Lisandro Martinez is officially putting the work in, trying to get back to this first team as soon as possible. And when he was talking about Lisandro Martinez, God, did I not get a sense of this guy is absolutely begging for this bloke to be back. You know, he mentioned about how he stays behind after he's done his own personal training. He's there watching the guys. He's there with every team meeting. I think we can see in this press conference just how much Lisandro Martinez means to this manager. We know how much he means to us as a team. We know that we absolutely need him. And he mentioned a word that I think we are lacking in this Manchester United team at the moment: aggression. He mentioned that we are missing his aggression. And this is something that Manchester United, I think personally, this guy's not back till after the international break. Now, will Ruben be there? We don't know, because we know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was there today with Barada and Wilcox where they had conversations. I got to be honest, when they asked Ruben about this and he made a joke out of it and said they were there to offer him a new contract, I sat there, I thought, Ruben, read the room. Bro, read the room. We've just come off the back of an absolute nightmare week. Let's read the room here. I think that might have been a little something aimed at the reporters there. But let me go into some hellos and then we'll carry on with this. Good evening to Warbso. Good to see you, my man. Evening, Ben. And yes, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Steve-O, happy Friday to you, buddy. Mrs. Potts, I'm taking over Dan's channel at 8 o'clock as well, so looking forward to doing that. Wahaha, good to see you as well, my friend. Record revenue, but still an overall loss. I mean, that's just sobering as it is. Kev, I'm so jealous you got to go to the boot for a pint, mate. I've been so busy. I would have loved to have done that today. Back in Brigade is in full force here with Ben, and Moxie, the OG, has come and said, good evening, everybody. Out and about tonight. Just popped in to say like and subscribe. Come on, United. Good man. Good to see you as always. Good to see you, Starvan. Hope you are well. Get over it. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know, Kev. I disagree with that. I absolutely disagree with that. I think my hair's a mess. Look at that. I think I'm sorry, mate. I don't agree with that at all. We're in the doldrums. Our worst start to a Premier League era ever since we've been in the competition. And he's there talking about a new. I don't know. That might be his humour. It might be him just dealing with the fact it's bad. But I don't want to hear that. Not what you're saying. I don't want to hear what he's saying with regards to that. Now, another thing that he said about this meeting with Sir Jim and the boys was that sort of worried me a little bit was this: team's in a better place. We looked at the stats That was the thing that piqued my interest. Yes, we looked at the stats. I don't think we need to be looking at the stats. I think we need to be looking at the pitch. I'm not Kev. I'm not a hater. I don't know where you think I'm a hater. I just don't agree with it. I think there's other things that we should be really, really talking about. And I don't think a manager who's just coming off the back of an absolute walloping from Man City, out of the cup against Grimsby, by the way, on penalties, should be making that joke about a new contract. I get it was a 2 fingers, but instead of 2 fingers, I tell you what he can do for us. He can use his 2 fingers to count 2 wins for us in a row. Then he can do that. Then he can do the whole, this is what we do. But I just think at the moment he needs to read the room. We'll talk about it tomorrow, buddy, anyway. And you know what? And this is why I love Kev, by the way, because Kev is the guy that keeps me grounded in that sense and tells me to calm it down. So I should imagine he'll be having words with me when I get there tomorrow. Evening, Mustafa. Mustafa was just with me on the previous show. Good to see you, mate. And top player says he's just going to blame the attackers who he's just brought. Press saying 1 shite. Amorim saying shite back. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So it was this whole conversation about the stats. They've come and spoken about the stats, and he himself mentioned several times the XG's looking better and the shape. And he also mentioned that between the boxes were looking good. It's in either box that we're failing, and it's like, well, I get that, Ruben. I get that. Let's play a team. Let's put a team together that's going to score goals. Then let's play a formation that's going to score goals. He also said that despite the lack of results, there are improvements compared to last season. For example, he believes the team is in a better place in terms of play, especially in areas outside the penalty boxes, which is what I just kind of said. I was interested in this press conference to see if we were going to get a manager coming out fighting, or a manager just showing that nothing's getting to him. And the one thing I will say about Amorim in that aspect is the last thing we want to see is an emotional outburst of this is I'm here to stay. You chose me. The fans. I'm glad he didn't come out and do that. But I think what we need this Saturday more than anything for this manager is we need a win. We absolutely need a win. Get a win against Chelsea, then go to Brentford. He will. I think he's got a big decision to make this weekend, chat. I think he's got a massive decision to make. We have got the news that Cunha and Mount are back. For me, what I don't like is the thought that this guy could potentially play that front three and drop and drop Sesko and drops it. There you go, Kev. You got your fans. And you saved it there, mate. You saved it there. Amorim is no better than Moyes. Stats suggest he is nothing special. Seems arrogant and stubborn, sometimes hopeless. Eric Ten Hag is awful, and so is Amorim. Yeah, I think this weekend, from what I was just talking about on the last stream, it's going to make or break him, isn't it? And when I say make or break him, I don't mean break him as he could get sacked. It'll either make him in the sense that he'll get this right and we'll get the win and we go and get some goals, or it'll break him because I kind of look at it. If we're there on Saturday, 7:30, full time, we've just been pumped at home 3-1 or something like that. That guy is going to be He's going to be an absolute mess. Like we talk about trying to get the players up off the floor after a loss. Every time we've taken a loss, this guy looks like he's ready to just walk and just he's had enough. So I think the players, if it is the players, and some of you think the players are the ones that are letting him down, well, the players own the performance. But equally, I just feel like if there's anything that we know about this manager, he's got to try and have an ace up his sleeve this weekend. And I'm not talking ace up the sleeve like a player like Cunha coming off the bench. I'm talking he's got to do something that's going to shock them, because he was asked a question about training and obviously the extra days in training. We know that Maresca said that they only had 48 hours, but they'd rather be in the Champions League. Nice little dig there. Amorim was asked the same question about training, and he said, yeah, well, we'll prepare like we always do. We prepared against Fulham. We knew what Fulham were going to do, and that obviously they scored. Same with Chelsea. We know Chelsea like to overload the box. Manchester United play with 3 at the back. By his own admission, he says it's 3. This will be a 5 at times on Saturday. That 5-2-3 will come back to rear its ugly head. my best chance for us would be to switch to formation, but we know we're not going to do that. So I think we've just got to basically do what I said last night, and that is take this all on board. It's not good. We're not going to get the formation changed, but we're going to get behind the manager, and we have to get behind the manager and hope that that performance comes and that we get that win. Because I will say this about Amorim: if we get this win on Saturday, if we then go on and beat Brentford, something we've not done yet 2 in a row, well then things do look different for him, don't they? After the Liverpool game, it seems to just sort of settle a bit more. I know people are saying we got to wait until December for a decent run, but this club can do it. This club can do it. We've just got to try and get that consistency, which is something, unfortunately, whether you like what I'm about to say or whether you don't like what I'm about to say, has been missing in Amorim's time in charge of Manchester United. So there's a lot. There is a lot. He did also acknowledge that there is a huge amount of pressure at Manchester United, but reiterated his desire to win and deliver. And a lot of people I've spoke to have said about this. Manchester United managers that have come and gone since Fergie, all these managers have wanted to be the manager that can come in and say, I turned them round. I've done it. I've turned them round. None of them have done it yet. We've had moments of, okay, we seem to be going in the right step. And it kind of feels like under the previous regimes that we've had here, we've had that one season you go, right, this is what we're doing now. This is right. We've done it. We've finished in the top 4. We've got Champions League. This summer now, let's go out there. Let's bring the right type of players. And it hasn't worked. So it's got to click for him soon. It has to. However, he did emphasise the need to be more clinical in both attacking and defending in the boxes. I wonder whether he sticks with the same back 3 this week. I wonder if he sticks with Luke Shaw, because Luke Shaw, for all intents and purposes, took a lot of the stick from Manchester United fans after the Manchester City game. Took a lot of comments, took a lot of bad negativity. I wonder if he changes it up this game, and I wonder if he puts Mazraoui in the back 3 and then essentially pushes Diallo back to the wide right. If he does that, well, then I think if Cunha does start, we will see Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko up top. I unfortunately think we will see Bruno and Casemiro in the midfield. But I think out of all the positions, the left-sided centre-back is going to be the one that's going to surprise us this week. Now, we know that he absolutely adores Luke Shaw. He backs him. This manager backed him the second he walked through the door, called him world-class. Same with Mount. But I just don't know. Maybe there's a couple of if I'm in Amorim's shoes here, the guys that I'm trusting to do jobs for me that haven't been doing the job, I'm making the changes. That's what I think. Let's go through some of the comments. He's basically said we're better but need to improve in attacking and defending. So everything then, because all football is. Playing Mount for Sesko is horrific. Playing Mount isn't horrific, top player, but Mount for Sesko I wouldn't be happy with. I think Mount's probably been one of our better players this season. I think he's looked decent. In fact, if we'd have chosen Pochettino instead of Erik ten Hag in 2021, we might have been Geezy Cruz. I don't think we'd have won Champions League with Poch. Poch went to PSG and couldn't win the Champions League. I'm not sure about that one. I never wanted Poch. Sesko needs to start, says Ben. Wahaha says Moise to give Liverpool some sobering tomorrow. Steve says Amorim's done a heck of a lot of interviews. He must get sick of the same negative questions. This is the time now. He's under a lot of pressure. He knows what he has to do. Unfortunately, in English football, that's the game, isn't it, Steve-O? We're both old enough and ugly enough to know that with the press in England, if you're winning, they want to speak to you all the time. If you're losing, they want to speak to you all the time. Jarl, good to see you, says if Mount and Cunha are fit, they both will play. Sesko will go to the bench. And Jarl, I can't help but get away from that feeling myself. Says Wahaha. We knew what Fulham would do. So why did Marco Silva explain in 2 sentences how to counter Amorim's stupid formation? And good evening, Andy. Good to see you, my man. That Chelsea winger, Estavo, will run through the wing-backs easily. No bench for Big Ben. And Mbeumo more fit for the bench. Nah. Really? Wahaha, you can't be serious that Mbeumo's fit for the bench. I think Brian Mbeumo's been one of the only players that's been running his arse off trying to do things. Rob Taff, good to see you, says the transfer windows haven't been great for these managers. They haven't, and I mean everything would get cooked with a Doku running up them with momentum. Guys, I think this is what we need to focus on. And what I forgot to ask you yesterday. Whilst I'm going through these comments, I want you to put your predictions for the score tomorrow, because I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you. As much as things have been going wrong for us, I've got faith that we can beat them tomorrow. Chelsea don't look great at the back. They don't. I actually think that Manchester United could get a result tomorrow. I don't think we go out there and obliterate a team, but it wouldn't surprise me if we went and got... Look, we're going to concede. We're going to concede. But it wouldn't surprise me if we went and got like a 2-1 win. Chelsea haven't got a great record at Manchester United as it is. I think we've got to be possible. I'm going for a 2-1 win. 2-1 win. Luke Shaw shouldn't be at this club anymore. Should have gone ages ago, says Steve-O. And a good win tomorrow could be a turning point. Get some confidence back in players. And Ben, you're absolutely spot on. What these players are begging for is a good win to get the confidence back. We lost against Arsenal, and the good times were there. Apparently, we'd done okay. It wasn't all that bad. And then we drew against Fulham, lost against Grimsby, but then we also beat Burnley. Now, Burnley for me wasn't a morale boosting win because it took to the 97th minute. It was a win out of necessity. What Manchester United are waiting for, I think what this squad are waiting for, are a game where they go out there and fucking blitz a team. That's all I want. Blitz a team. Walk off that pitch, go in, absolutely smash them. Chelsea probably isn't the team to do it, but we need to do that. We need to get that win. I think Cunha and Mount will be on the bench tomorrow. Rob Taff, I genuinely don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because we've done this dance before, haven't we, Bud, where we go, he'll pick this team tomorrow. There's no way he's changing it. And then he throws a surprise in. My question would be to you guys, do we risk rushing Cunha back into that team? Now, I know there was talk that he wanted to go back for the City game, but they didn't want to rush him back. Maybe he is full fit, but I just worry. Brian needs benching, if anyone. Wahaha, are you saying Brian being benched over Ahmad? Answer me that, please. Parv says, "Hi Dan, seeing you after a long time. What if the Chelsea game with a warm lead? What will be your reaction? If we beat Chelsea, I'll be buzzing. I still have questions. Of course I will. One result doesn't change an entire mindset, but it would be a good start. What happens tomorrow with the substitutions will be telling for me," says Kev. Kev, I agree. His substitutions have been awful. Top player says Mbuemo looks like. I think he does. 2-2. Ben's going 1-1. Kev's going 3-1. Pochettino was never given a chance. What do you mean he was never given a chance? The man had Messi. The man had Neymar and Messi and Mbappe. I don't think Poch at United. I don't think Poch for United. 3-1 United, says Par. 3-1 says Wahaha. There you go, Wahaha. Back in my good books there. I think we should have some defence as of last season, which is quite hilarious, mainly Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw didn't play much last season, but Luke Shaw had a bad game. He had a bad game, but let's not forget, a couple of weeks ago, we were all saying Luke Shaw looked decent at left-sided centre-back. So that's football, isn't it? Rob's confident for tomorrow. We did miss 85% chances against Burnley. Should go berserk and floor them as soon as the whistle goes. We got to absolutely batter them. And also, Wahaha, if you've seen the news, I'm glad the top player has said this. There's talk that Xerxes might go in January. If we can start quick, we need to score goals. This is the thing. This is the thing. United have started quick in games. We just can't put the ball in the back of the net. We can't put the ball in the back of the net. So I'd love us to start quick. Ideal scenario, United go bang, bang. Do you know what I mean? 2 goals straight away. Silence the away fans. Get the home crowd. But the boys need to put the ball in the back of the net. What? Ahmad was involved in the last 5 minutes of the game against City. The biggest thing I remember about Ahmad against City was his failed overhead kick. Can't have that. I can't have that. Nah. And yeah, Brian over Ahmad, definitely. Dearie me. Well, he's too good to not be utilised. I'd love for him to go and play and go and get game time. I hear it. Isaac, how are you? Enough about talking about my club, Isaac. How are you? How are you feeling, my friend? It's been a whirlwind, I'd say a whirlwind week for you boys. A whirlwind week for you boys. You're one of the good ones, though, Isaac, so I'm not going to dig you too much. Just out of curiosity, what's to think of Amorim when he was linked? Yeah, look, I wanted Amorim, but Poch wasn't it for me. Poch reminded me so much of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Hear me out. Poch is the manager that you get in to take your club to the next level, but isn't going to win you the big trophies. Ollie did the same at United. Ollie, after 2 seasons of steadying the ship and of bringing the good times back, we should have absolutely said, right, Ollie, off you go. We're bringing in the manager, the guy to take us to the next level. So no, I wanted him, of course I did, but Poch, I've never wanted him. Stats and video of the games do go hand in hand always. It's why every time got a data guy. It's fair. Sesko, 2 goals tomorrow. I like that, Dominic. It would be great for him to get off the mark against Chelsea 3-2 United. And what about the front three of Xerxes, Brian and Sesko? Xerxes to me is a 10. Xerxes is a 10. I don't think Xerxes is a 9. Ahmad is showing signs of greediness with the ball. Hope it's not catching. Here's the other thing about Ahmad, which I don't understand. I don't understand this about Ahmad. Ahmad last season was that guy that picked the ball up and ran at people and took people on, was amazing in and out of them. This season, all I've seen Ahmad do time after time is pick the ball up, turn, go back, pass it. Then he's not as explosive. Now, is that down to how he's being coached? Is the manager saying, I want you to do this. I don't want you to push forward. I don't want you to be that guy to try and take all these people on. We've got Brian for that. We've got Cunha for that. I don't know. But surely with a talent like Ahmad, I think he's had his wings clipped. Dan, you like 99% of the fans don't like Pochettino and James Rodriguez, but they would probably work better than anyone else. James Rodriguez. What, the player? James Rodriguez stank out the joint at Everton. He was never going to make it at United. Stank out the joint at Everton and had a poor attitude as well. And look, Geezy, this is just my opinion. You know, as I said, I didn't want him. You liked him. That's cool. This is football. This is what we do it for. I wanted Flick on the Nagelsmann. Honestly, Hansi Flick, I scoffed at him. What a dickhead. I scoffed at him, and he's quality. He's doing really well. And yes, don't worry about being clipped up, Kev. We'll be there together. Do they a double mark Ahmad now? I don't think they do, though, top player. I don't think they do. And Ahmad's the type of player that can play himself out of that, though. How many times last season did we see Ahmad take 2 or 3 players on? I don't think it is that. Told you, Dan, not enough players that are willing to run past opponents. Kev, you did say this. And Dominic says Ahmad might need to play 10 with Mazraoui behind him. He brings out the best of Ahmad, in my opinion. He played 10. He played 10 against City, and he was woeful. Not that upset, playing incredibly well. Ange just didn't manage the game state correctly. He was bringing on more and more attacking players when we were winning the game, and the balance disappeared. Now, Isaac, that's what Ange does. It's going to be a long season for Newcastle, for Nottingham Forest. I genuinely believe that. I don't rate Ahmad that highly, but he's playing at right wing back with Brian ahead of him. They don't get on well together. In City game, he was left in the 10. Do you know something? Well, I can take that. I can take that bit about him and Brian. They don't mix well together. They don't. But here's my other question: Why wouldn't you put Ahmad on the left side as a wing back and utilize his left foot? It's frustrating. Ahmad versus Garnacho. Ahmad is poor defensively. Ahmad runs into Brian and his marker, so it gets too congested. And Isaac says, why couldn't Poch do it? He got Spurs consistently finishing in the top 3 or 4 on the shoestring under Levy. Then at Chelsea, they spent a load of players on money on players that weren't ready yet. Again, look, I'm never going to apologise for not wanting Pochettino. Never going to apologise. If Pochettino's so good, if Pochettino's the manager that we should be, fuming we haven't got, where's Pochettino coaching at the moment? He's the USA manager. Why isn't he at Barcelona? Well, he wouldn't go Barcelona, I know that. Why isn't he at Real Madrid? Why isn't he at a big Italian club? I don't see it. As a left wing back might be worth a try. And how can he be a good coach if he can only play with a back 3? Guys, there's so many questions that we need answering. So many things that will be answered tomorrow. But we will be there. Kev and I will be live at 4:45 tomorrow, I believe, Kev and I. So make sure you see us, because I'm obviously streaming tomorrow. I've got to go give Mrs. Robinson some attention, but I've got to quickly jump on and host something else for someone as well. So if you are free and available, jump on to 12th Man's the 12th Man's show in the next couple of minutes. I will be on there hosting. It'd be good to get a few United fans behind me, because I feel like I'm going to get absolutely battered on that show again. But if not, if I don't see you there, I will see you tomorrow at 4:45. Make sure you have a good Friday evening. Kev, make sure you're ready for tomorrow. I'll catch you all on the flip side. Dan United, Brian Brigade, Ahmad Brigade, Doru, everyone, get behind United. Uta! Uta, uta, uta.